Hey, so I'm currently in an area of Mexico City called La Condesa, or Condesa. It's another hip little neighborhood. I stayed here about 6 months ago, right here, in a little hotel called Isla 54. Very cute place. And I'm just going to walk around here and give you a little peekaboo about what this place is about. It's next to a cool little park called Parque de Mexico, and it's Saturday, so I imagine there's probably some things going on there. So let's have a look. We'll take you over. So this was the hotel I stayed at, up there somewhere in the back. It's called the Isla 54. There's some cool little restaurants around here. Very hipsterized. Lots of dogs. You can probably hear them barking. It's a cool little place. Oh look, yeah, this is also, I could see it from here. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a statue of Einstein here in the park. I'm going to try and show it to you. So you can see this is a very popular dog park. There it is, Albert Einstein. And I don't know if you can see this, but there are a lot of dogs in that little dog park, off-leash park. Hola. It's a lot of happy dogs right here. I'm not sure if you know this, but Mexico City is a very dog-loving city. There are a lot of people here who have dogs. Dogs are very popular. Little Shiba. It's a dog's life. I tell you, I'd rather be a dog in this city. It's crazy. And this is the section of the park where you see a lot of rollerbladers and skateboarders, people hanging out, performers. It's another thing about Mexico City and Mexico in general. It's a very social country, and people like to be outside, mingling, doing things like skateboarding and rollerblading and playing soccer. I was here, like I said, about 6 months ago, and man, the place was packed. But I think it was because I was here on a Sunday. But it's still pretty active. I can still see people playing soccer. It's a really fun place to hang out. So if you come to Mexico City, don't forget to come down here to La Condesa, to this wonderful park of Mexico, and take in a bit of the flavor.
Lo que pasa es que también ya no le...
This neighborhood is really happening. It's a Saturday, late afternoon. It's just about 5:30, and people are out. Always something to buy. I'm just gonna take you down through this neighborhood a little bit, just give you a feel for it. Most of the attraction here is because of the park itself. So most of the places, the restaurants and shops, bars, etc., they're all enclosing this park. The park is what kind of makes it. And the park is actually quite nice. As you can see, it has all these wonderful trees. And the trees really give it life and make it much more livable. I imagine most people here have dogs. I think it's actually weird not to have a dog. This place is really popular. This Ice Cream Nation place, when I was here 6 months ago, it had a lineup even back then. It's a very popular place. A lot of street life here in Mexico. A lot of action.
Pasen al bazar, buena tierra, con los invitados, pasen.
It's like he's cool and this is that. I was like, you know, most kids are gonna be like your dad. How much
Alright, let me see if I can get by here. Jeez, it's quite a lot of traffic. I couldn't imagine driving in this city. There's just traffic jams everywhere. It's a very congested city. And yeah, it's too bad. They really need to find a solution. Because it's just not healthy. I don't know if you can see, but there's traffic jams up and along the area of the park. Again, it's a popular place, so people are attracted. They come here. And this is one of my favorite places. Pasteleria Panadera, which means pastry shop and bakery. Macac. I think I might go in and see if I can get something to go. I know they had these panacapitas that I got in the past. See if I could find one. Hola. ¿Tienes con empanadas?
Yes.
Empanadas.
With salt? ¿De qué tienes?
De tinta, de rajas nada más.
¿Tiene de spinach?
De espinaca.
No,
No. Con grano chili. ¿De qué es el otro, hija?
De tinta y de rajas.
Chicken. Chicken.
Chicken, no. ¿Y más que?
Picante, chili.
Chili?
Ajá. Con grano.
Must no.
It's not hot. It's very good.
No, I know, but no spinach, huh?
No, spinach.
No, that's it. Okay.
In this moment now. ¿Vas a hacer empanadas, gordo? No.
Nada. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. All right. I'll come back. Thank you. Oh well, that was a big strikeout. It's a really great pastry shop. If I was hungry, I would probably sit down, but I'm not that hungry yet. I think I'm going to walk backwards to the park. ¿A qué hora se queda cerrado?
Aquí a las 9:15 ya cerramos el local.
Okay, gracias. I was just asking what time they close. He said about 9:45. Or 9:15. Not sure. Okay. Let's head back to the park. And show you a little more of this neighborhood. It's a really cute neighborhood. Okay, let's go down here. See what there is to see. So one of my favorite things to do is just wander around, get lost. And I think that's a great way to learn about a place, is to just wander around, get lost. And today you have Google Maps, which makes it just so simple. You technically can't even get lost. It's almost impossible. If you ever get stuck, just look at your phone and you'll always know how to get back to where you were. See, if you're paying attention, you notice that this area of Mexico City has a lot of trees, and the roads are kind of circular, elliptical. They revolve around, and it makes the neighborhood a lot more interesting and appealing. Have a look at this. This looks like an abandoned building. It's quite nice, very colonial, Spanish colonial style building right here. Reminds me of Portuguese architecture, especially with the arches. I just love the way the sun and the light filter through the trees in this neighborhood. You get all these splashes of light. And it's really nice. The light is really nice here. Right now, I think I might take a picture of this beautiful sunlight. See what we have here. Looks like we have Lush, outdoor flea market. Always need to be careful crossing the streets here. It's can be dangerous. Drivers are going pretty fast. And the last thing you want to do is get into an accident here. Okay, here we go. Here we go. This looks like a cute little flea market of used furniture. A little bit of this and a little bit of that. So I think I'm going to head back from where I came. It's easy to get lost here because so much of these landmarks look the same. But it's very hard to find distinctive landmarks. I think I was here 6 months ago because I remember this bookstore. I love going into bookstores, and there's not many left, I have to say. Bookstores are becoming pretty rare. Things are going digital, my friends. And it brings me to an interesting topic, is how to live in this increasingly digital world where we're becoming ever more immersed and dependent on digital realities. You know, we spend so much time in front of our screens, and like even now, sharing this on YouTube, instead of being here, you're getting to have a bit of an experience of what this neighborhood is like without having to be here. And many of my friends I have now are digital. I communicate with them on Instagram and Messenger and Telegram and Signal. We have a digital relationship, and hola. And I mean, some friends I haven't seen in 3 years, but we're constantly communicating. It's bizarre. So when I first started traveling, and I think I mentioned my first big trip was to Asia and India, there was no digital anything. If you wanted to communicate, you wrote letters, postcards. You didn't even use phones, because phones were hard to get to and super expensive. Making a long distance phone call back in the 80s was, you know, people just didn't do it. So we relied on postcards and letters, and I used to write letters. I would sit at a cafe, restaurant, and I would write 5-10-page letter detailing my adventures and experiences, and I would do that to every single friend. So you can imagine, I spent a lot of time writing letters. There was no emails, no fax machines, and that's how you shared your experience, was with a postcard. And maybe there would have been a documentary that your friends would have watched on that country you were in to get a taste for it. But if you wanted to have an experience, you had to go out and get it. It wasn't going to come to you. But today, you can travel the world without leaving your house just by going on YouTube and watching travel videos like this. You can get an experience of what it's like to be in this part of Mexico City, La Condesa, without having to leave your home. And that's fascinating. And what that means is there's many people who, one, would never have experienced this if it wasn't for YouTube. And secondly, maybe it would inspire somebody to want to visit, to say, hey, you know what, I really like that and I want to go there myself. So yeah, but yeah, it's the way of the world now. We're being completely immersed in a digital landscape of experience, and I think it's only going to get more and more and more like this meta idea put forth by Mark Zuckerberg, this idea of virtual reality, avatars. That's where it's going next, where you assume an avatar and you interact with someone else in a digital virtual reality space. And that's how it's going to be. It's kind of insane. So I'm going to wander back to the center here and then kind of decide if I want to head back to Coyoacan, where my guest house is, or hang out here a little longer, maybe get something to eat, decide on what to do. It's a doggy's life.
You to be well educated.
What's that place over here? Always finding these cute little restaurants. If you came here at 8 o'clock in the morning, this place would be completely deserted. Completely barren. This neighborhood really comes to life at night.
No se acuerda. Él trató a la niña. Ya lo dijo, ya lo dijo y nada más.
People love ice cream here. I notice. Ice cream is very popular in Mexico. Of course, I cannot have any, so I'm very careful with how much sugar I put in my body. So diet is very important. Whenever you're traveling, you got to think about your diet. And I know most people, especially younger people, don't really care about their diet. They eat whatever they can get. Bag of chips, Coca-Cola, pizza, you know, the most accessible, cheapest form of food. They sometimes don't have the disposable income to buy really good food. You know, I mean, restaurants can still be expensive. But there's another type of traveler that is more food conscious. So they are much more aware of what they're eating. They're trying to be aware of how much protein, fats, carbs, and I'm like that. I'm very conscious of my diet, as my diet has gotten me into trouble before. So now I try to have a really good balance of proteins and fats, and not too much on the carbs. Okay, I think we hit the outer rim of the neighborhood, and I'm going to circle back. So, diet's important. Try to think about it when you're traveling. I usually start my day with a couple of eggs, fried or, you know, scrambled. And if you're in Mexico, that's easy to do. There's a lot of different ways you can have eggs here in Mexico. If you're a meat eater, then there's quite a lot of options, because chicken is very available, and so is meat, especially pork. Pork is big here. I personally do not eat meat if I don't have to. I've been a vegetarian most of my life, but if I have to, I'll eat it. It's just sort of the nature of things when you're traveling. Sometimes you don't have a choice. So you have to be flexible. So breakfast here in Mexico can run you anywhere from 100 pesos upwards to 200 pesos is sort of average. If you're spending more than 200 pesos for breakfast, then I think you're having something very extravagant. I've rarely spent more than 150 to 200 pesos, and that includes like you know, a good coffee, like a cafe latte or something. And one of my favorite things to get for breakfast, if they have it, is avocado toast. So there I'm getting my fats and my proteins. The toast itself, you know, yes, it's carby, but it's not that much. It's not that carby. It's a very interesting outfit. Kind of look like a nurse. What is this place? Oh, I think this is a crepe place. Very interesting. Deep fried. It's always interesting to look at the kitchen versus the front. Well, I hope you're getting a good feel for this neighborhood, and you can see how sociable and friendly it is. And it's understandable why people would want to stay here. You know, if they're in Mexico City, there's a few neighborhoods that are desirable. This is definitely one of them. I think I showed you my neighborhood that I've been staying at, Coyoacán, which is nice. It's not as busy as this neighborhood, I have to say. It's not as developed and intense. One thing I wasn't pleased about when I stayed here last time was how noisy it was. And if you're, I'm a very light sleeper, and noise wakes me up. And it doesn't take much, like barking dogs. Last time it was like people having sex next door. And yeah, it wakes you up, interrupts your sleep. So I tend to gravitate to quiet places where I know I'm going to get a good night's sleep, because I walk a lot and I need my energy. So finding a quiet spot is more important to me than finding a hip spot. So that's one of the things I really try to fix, is a pleasing, quiet place with lots of light and air, not too hot. So we're coming to another little another part of the park where it circles. You can see the park is kind of elliptical in shape, and you could literally just walk around it. Quite nice. So I think I'm going to cut the video here as I wander through this park. I'll just let it run a little bit, just so you know, get a flavor for this beautiful park. And I'll cut it off and go find a restaurant where I can get a bite to eat. It's almost 6 o'clock. I like to eat early. Not too much either. Don't overeat. Another big lesson. So enjoy the rest of the video.
No me gusta mucho el sabor de la carne. Por ejemplo, la barbacoa no me gusta, pero sí me sabe mucho y esas cosas me saben demasiado a carne, ¿sabes? Entonces no me gustaron. Y también la de Burger King, la hamburguesa de Burger King,